Welcome back to Thick Riff Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing the episode outside today because we're jamming on the Nano Cortex with the 2.0 update. This is a super exciting update for the Nano Cortex because Neural DSP has addressed all of the concerns that I think everybody had when this device launched. You can now add pre-effects. You can now add more post-effects. There are tons of devices added to the Nano Cortex, and we're gonna explore some of those today. So let's get into it. We're gonna write a summer vibes riff. We got the frozen margs going. We're vibing today. We are straight vibing. All right, let's write a riff with this thing. That's my chord progression idea. And I think we're gonna turn this into a really sick summer vibe riff. So real quick, the rig today is literally just right into the Nano Cortex, into the laptop. I'm not running any power out here because the Nano Cortex is USB powered and we can run it straight off the laptop. So this rig is super, super portable. Okay, so it's really hard for me to see my phone screen out here, but the tone is first in the chain, a compressor. We got the solid state comp going on here. Then we've got the exotic boost. That's just helping with some top end. I'm really not adding any like gain or distortion or really anything with that. It's just kind of making the tone a little janglier. Yeah, so that's into the Watt Custom VH1, into the Princeton, and then at the end of the chain we have another compressor just to get that like nice plucky attack. And then for the intro, I'm thinking of like arpeggiating that chord progression like I was doing before. And I want to use my post effects here. Yeah, I'm loving that. That sounds great, dude. All right, so let's get going with this. Let's start recording. I don't know how many times I want that to go. Maybe just twice. Cool, we got our intro. Okay, so then I want to turn off the delay there so I can just use this as like a nice double tracked rhythm tone. And then of course we're gonna go full Bill Murray and do some heavy octave rhythm guitars too. Okay, I think that's gonna be my rhythm. All right, not a bad scratch take right there. That's enough to get some drums down. All right, we're gonna use the musical typing here so I can play it in on the keyboard. Dude, Logic has come a really long way with the musical typing. It used to have so much like horrible latency. And now it's like perfect. I can just like, it's like perfectly on time. All right, we need some cymbals. Okay, that wasn't great, but I think I can work with that. Maybe a little drum fill at the end. Nothing crazy, just like a little quick thing to turn us back around. Ooh, that's a pretty sick fill. I think we should do that on the repetition. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I dig that. Yeah, definitely a big snare flam right before the riff comes in. Nice. Hopefully you guys are able to see me with this this lighting situation. Okay, we've got our skeleton for our riff. We can go ahead and start making this sound good now. Start producing this out, putting some layers in there. Should we start with bass? I think we should just pop in bass real quick because I think it'll be super easy. Yeah, you know what? We'll get something in really simple and then we'll just iron it out afterwards. All right, that was good enough. All right, we can go ahead and double these single coil clean guitars here. Okay, that was a good take. That's a keeper. That was good. Yeah, nice. Okay, sweet. I mean, obviously we're gonna have to write a catchy ass lead on top of that. Let's see what these heavy octave guitars would sound like. All right, let's try it. Oh, it's such a nice breeze. That's so nice. All right, let's see what that sounds like. I'm not super sold on it though. I mean, it does sound kind of nice just as like a lower layer. Okay, maybe with the octave heavy preset, I can just pop some delay and reverb on there and turn the pitch block off. And it's a lead tone right there. Okay, sick. Let's try to write a little catchy lead on top of this. Okay, so unfortunately, the microphone that I was using to pick up my voice died, and I had to cut the lead writing portion of this video a little short. But I'm really happy with how the lead turned out. And honestly, I'm super happy with how the whole demo turned out. It was actually so cool to be able to go outside with a super small rig using just the Nano Cortex and my laptop and go record something outside and just kind of like take in the vibes, take in the fresh air. It's honestly kind of amazing what Neural DSP did with the Nano Cortex, and seeing how it launched, seeing its reception. They saw that the expectations for a device like this didn't quite meet the mark of the target audience. They took that information and they made something amazing out of it. These new additions to the Nano Cortex are honestly amazing, and I'm blown away with what they could do with the hardware that they already put out in an update to make this honestly such a powerhouse of a portable rig. All right, so before we hop into giving this a final listen through, I want to show you guys the little mix tweaks that I did. So I really don't have much going on in terms of post-processing. I wanted to keep the tones pretty true to how they sounded right out of the Nano Cortex. So on the clean guitars, all I really have is an instance of Pro Q4, doing a little taming in this high mid-range. And then clamping down on those palm mutes a little bit. We could go even a little harder with that. And then I've got a Pro C2 just touching the top of it. Similar thing going on with the heavy octave guitars. Just clamping down on these palm mutes down here, and then high pass and low pass. Super straightforward on that stuff. On the lead, the only EQ I did was a high pass. And then right at the end, I just threw on a quick little delay and reverb throw. You can see the automation right there, just to make that last note ring out a little more, because I didn't play it. I didn't play it perfectly. yeah, so that's it. This delay and reverb is not doing anything until that throw right at the end. I have the delay and reverb coming straight from the Nano Cortex. So the effects that you hear during the lead here, those are Nano Cortex effects. And that's about it. So let's give this a listen. All right, here we go. This riff is like the most summer sounding thing I've ever written. Probably because I wrote it right next to the pool with a margarita in one hand and my guitar in the other. If that's not a recipe for some summer vibe riffs, I don't know what is. All right, huge thanks to NeuroDSP for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for watching to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button and the subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.